I'm Steve Clark with Dr. Art Evans, entomologist, and this is What's Bugging You, a fond look at the animals we love to hate. Art, your focus is beetles. There's a particular name for that.
Oh, the order Coleoptera.
So you're a coleopterist.
Coleoptera means sheath-winged, and it refers to the fact that their forewings are thick and leathery or hard and shell-like.
Well, let me ask you this. What makes a beetle rather than some other sort of bug? I mean, what's the difference?
First of all, their forewings, the elytra, are unique to beetles. They also have chewing mouth parts, which aren't necessarily unique to beetles. They develop by complete metamorphosis, which many other insects do as well. But that combination of characteristics, chewing mouth parts, complete metamorphosis, and elytra, makes them unique among other insects.
What's the option to the complete metamorphosis?
There are three basic types of insect metamorphosis. You have ametamorphosis. These are insects that hatch from an egg. They look like a small version of the adult, and as they molt or shed their exoskeleton and get larger and become sexually mature, they never ever have wings.
What's an example of that?
Silverfish. Then you have insects that develop by gradual metamorphosis. These are crickets, grasshoppers, praying mantises, cockroaches, termites, true bugs, things like that, where the young insect hatches from the egg, and as it goes through its different stages, each stage punctuated by a molt or shedding the exoskeleton, they do have wings, and their wings develop on the outside of the body. Eventually you'll see very distinct wing pads. And then they have that last molt, and they're an adult. They're fully winged, sexually mature, ready to go. In insects with complete metamorphosis, you have four very distinct stages: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. And those larvae have different names depending on what kind of insect we're talking about. It could be a maggot, it could be a grub, a caterpillar. But any wing development that you see happens internally, and you see no hint of wings at all until you get to that pupal stage.
And when they emerge from the pupal, full-blown adult, ready to go.
Usually. There's a couple of minor exceptions, which we won't go into today.
And all beetles go that route?
Yes, complete metamorphosis. There are some beetles that have a modified type of metamorphosis called hypermetamorphosis, and we see this in beetles and other insects too that are parasites. What this refers to is that the larvae, instead of just being small larvae and then they molt and become larger larvae and larger larvae, the first larval instar, the first larval stage, hatches from an egg, and it's very different from all the others. It's very leggy, silverfish-like, and they're incredibly mobile. Their sole task is to find the right host that they can parasitize. Once they find the right host, whether it's a pod of grasshopper eggs or the underground nest of a solitary bee, they molt again and they become a fat, legless grub. They have nowhere to go, they're in Fat City, and they will complete their development that way.
I think that's where I'm headed.
I'm a little slow on the uptake here. I wasn't sure where you were headed.
A fat, legless grub. Dr. Art Evans is the author of Beetles of Eastern North America. You'll find the What's Bugging You archive and a link to Art's Facebook page at ideastations.org/radio/bugs.